It is rather unfortunate. I saw the communique of the meeting of Northern Governors Fulani Jihadis in Kaduna yesterday. That communique is a sham, and that meeting is a sham, and it's a disgrace, and it's an eye-opener for all the Northern natives to actually see that what has been happening in the North for years has been supported by Fulani Jihadis governors. It's very clear. But my disgrace and the shame would be that if the governor of Benue, Plateau, Taraba, Adamawa were in that meeting and they sat and watched how the Fulani governors jihadis justify the actions of their bandits. I heard when Inua Yahaya, a jihadist, was trying to condemn Yansake, the Hausa Yansake in the north. What brings about Yansake? Yansake were even brought by the Hausa's communities that feel that Fulani were coming to kill them, kidnap them, rape their wives and their women in the mosques and in worship places. That was what bring about the idea of Yansake. But the governor of Gombe, a Fulani jihadist, was trying to justify the action of Fulani by the reprisal action of Yansake. And you see, it's a clear picture that all natives northerners should wake up. I mean the Hausas should wake up. That look, these people who decide for our lives, they kill us, they rape our women, they kidnap us and takes our money, and their governors jihadis justify their actions because that was the act of what happened yesterday. Look, if the governors of the Middle Belters were in that meeting and you are part of that meeting and you sat in that meeting and watched the charade and the justification of killing of your people by their governors jihadis, you are a disgrace to your people. And I want the Fulani governors, you think that you are playing with the natives because you have political power. You are playing with fire. Everything that has beginning must have an end. And I'm calling on the northern natives. It is high time we should take back our region, our land, our relevance. Today, the governor of Kaduna is a Fulani, Katsina Fulani, Sokoto Fulani, Kano Fulani, Jigawa Fulani, Katsina Fulani, Gombe Fulani. Even the Bauchi is a Pasha Fulani man. So, tell me, how many Hausa's governors do we have in that meeting? The answer is there is no a single Hausa Fulani governor, Hausa governor in the north today. The Hausas have lost their political relevance. They have lost their land. They have lost their identity. They have lost their culture. They have lost everything. And it has been taken by Fulani with the deception of Islam. Look, northern natives, it is time for you to wake up and take your land back. And this thing will not be served a la carte. It won't serve as tea and bread. It is high time for us to see these Fulani governors and their jihadis for what they are. That meeting does not represent Arewa, does not represent Northern Arewa and Northern natives.
The Northern governors and their traditional institution have now agreed to join hands in creating a state police to combat insecurity at the locality. You know, still can't believe that these are the same political weight that has been opposing the creation of state police at the National Assembly all this time and the delay. But now that it seems they are feeling the heat because Mr. President did what they did not expect by withdrawing the VIP attached police to politicians, and they are now thinking positive alternative, which for sure will also benefit them. They are now looking toward state police. They are now throwing their weight towards it. Now that is very clear, we are all vulnerable to insecurity, banditry. They are being forced to bend their own Game of Thrones. God bless President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I don't care if you like him or not. The reality is the tide is shifting. Hence, your cooperation in creation of state police. Even the Middle Belt, which has been the victim of banditry, kidnapping, and ethnic cleansing, is now distancing itself from having any joint security structure under the umbrella of Northerners or Arewa. They are now projecting Middle Beltan region. Because in a same country, state police is not what we should even be dragging and pandering about, because it is a symbol of true federalism. It is the foundation of a country of many nations, many interests like Nigeria. It is a symbol of unity in diversity. But the few elites in power does not care to jeopardize the majority interest over their own minority interest. Isn't it absurd to your hearing as well? Because it does not work anywhere in the world like that for a country of many nationalities, many ethnics like Nigeria, not to have state police as a structure. Because if there is state police, how will some people be able to negotiate with bandits and be demanding for amnesty for them? It will surely affect their interest. Same way they don't want bandits to be proscribed as a terrorist organization, because it will still affect their interest. If they create state police, how will they be able to play politics with the lives of their people, because they want to hijack power that has been domiciled at the center for politicking purpose? Insecurity in Nigeria now is 85% business and transaction. Get it and get it right. That is why you see Rumi calling for amnesty to bandits who pay, displace, defile. But the victim of banditry are nothing but collateral damage, use and dispose, waste. They care more about the bandit because it is their interest, but the victim can go to whatever that make them happy, even if it is hell, heaven or IDP camp. Well, I'm glad everybody is waking up now. Nationalism everywhere, and I'm glad in the north they can now see that their highlights are the root cause of the insecurity ravaging the north. This creation of state police, I commend President Tinubu once again for using his executive might to push for it. At least now that it is clear the executive wants to give us state police, it is in the hand of our National Assembly member now to do the needful. Especially the northern lawmakers who seems to have been playing delay tactics with it. The senator and the rep should do the needful. Security is the first responsibility of a government, followed by welfare. Enough of all this negotiation with terrorists. It doesn't sound well. It doesn't add positivity to Nigeria profile. It's bullshit. It's nonsense. Have you ever seen anywhere in the world where insecurity is being curbed by means of negotiation with the assailants and the culprits? No. Mali is getting it right, because in Bamako, more than 1,000 terrorists who blockaded the city were sent to their Mecca. And Mali is gradually winning the fight against the terror group because they have chosen to fight. Mr. President should use full military force on the terrorists. Create state police to reduce crime by 50% at the local level. Anybody sympathizing with terrorists, calling for amnesty for terrorists, is also their enabler. And Mecca, they should be arrested and prosecuted in court of law. In fact, if any of them came to surrender, they should be arrested swiftly. The masses have been killed with no offense. Their only offense is that they are poor and not part of the political class. And the same system that made them poor is still the one that is killing them. How bad? It is time for Mr. President to show himself as a friend of the masses, who have come to rescue them from the lion's mouth, who want to bargain them for power and politics. Whether people like President Tinubu or not, the truth is that he is a silent achiever. He doesn't waste time on blame game, and his conflict management style is far ahead and beyond others. The restructuring and true federalism we are calling for is gradually forming and shaping. Even though we are still on the way to it, I'm glad we are getting there gradually. Local government is done, tax reform is done, even though many people are still ignorant of the bill and its goals and aim. Now, state police will be done with the power of Olodumare. Regional government is the key, yes, and regional government is what we are going to implement. Ethno-linguistic region, a true country that reflects a multi-ethnic nationalities.
I said it here the other day that Tinubu is going to isolate the North, and Tinubu is going to do that by policy. It's not gra-gra. I've told you people so many times, it's not gra-gra. Now look at this news that has broken, that Middle Belt Elders Forum rejects joint Northern security framework with North, cites terrorist sympathies among core Northern governors and groups. It's not by gra-gra, it's by policy. You see, this state and community policing is going to be farm for your farm. Please pick your alliances correctly. The people who don't want to even join alliances, you can also do this by yourself. It's state police, it's not supposed to be regional, but if you want to make it regional and all of you want to share the same security framework, you're welcome. Look at where the North is, but look at how far they come down to claim land and call it North. Are these people here not closer to the South than the North? How can a region in between South and North be claimed by one set of people? Because you buy guns for 13-year-old children, you think you are politically sound? You are going to learn politics by force, and the North is going to be isolated. If you are going to take your problem to the Middle Belt, when they create their security framework, they are going to be ready for you. Nobody is trying to oppress the North. We are just trying to save ourselves from this short change that we have been suffering all of these years. People thinking that they have monopoly to violence and then hide behind a constitution that is fraudulent to make havoc on people. All that is going to stop. When you carry your madness and cross to somebody's region, there are going to be people waiting there for you. That is the essence of all of this. So the elders have spoken. The governors better listen, because some of you governors don't have sense. Some of you are really dumb. The elders might say this, and the next thing you see that they are in the meeting with these people again. Don't join yourself with Arewa. Don't join them. We all know what they have been doing in this country for years. Anybody that still closes his eye to that fact and then goes and joins them, trying to talk about, oh, we don't want to be tribal, blah, blah, blah. This is the time to farm for your farm. Don't go and join them. Tinubu is doing something great in this country. If you carry your madness to somebody's region, people are going to be waiting there for you with their own AK-47. That is the essence of this. So that we internally solve these problems. There is no country where their military is busy fighting internal wars. These are police problems. We can solve this with police. These children are little children. The work of the military is to guard the borders of this country. Make sure that we don't have any other people infiltrating our territories. By the end of the 8 years of Tinubu, probably we might build a wall around Nigeria to make sure we keep out the Islamic radical terrorists. These people are not human beings. You have to be ready for them. You have to match madness with madness.
The matter of state policing, do you think that it is necessary?
We don't need state police.
Why?
By the time we establish a state police in this country, that will be the beginning and the end of Nigerian democracy. As we are going now, our democracy is at danger. It's at very risk. The risk is about 70-80% of being collapsed. When we bring in state police now, the next thing is, this man is an opposition. Go and take him in his house, kill him. That one will come. Because these criminal governors, I call them criminals, are in hesitation because I know what they're doing. But these people can send somebody to your house to go and kill you. Because we know many people that were killed. A lot of people that were killed by the government, state killing. We know that.
So do you think there will be an extension of abuse of power?
Of course, abuse of power, serious one.
You see, when you look at that very particular summit, you know that it's just another talk shop. It is another summit that is meant to convince Northerners that something is being done. If you ask me, the kind of summit we should be having is a summit that will learn from successful solutions that have been implemented to tackle insecurity in Nigeria or elsewhere. I give an example. If you really want to learn about how to solve a problem of insecurity in this country, I think Borno State has a model where the youth came together under civilian JTF and they led the process, and then the Nigerian army followed because they were the people that knew the training ground. They know the terrain very well. So they were the people that were leading the Nigerian military from one point to the other, to the extent that they were able to dislodge Boko Haram from the Borno state capital into the fringes of Sambisa. And that was how Borno was liberated from Boko Haram. Previously, Boko Haram was in Maiduguri, the metropolitan capital of Borno state. The youth came together, and then they worked together with the Nigerian military, with their traditional institution. And today, we don't have Boko Haram in Maiduguri. That is one. Secondly, in Borno, in Yobe state, the state governor worked together with the vigilantes, and these vigilantes became the focal persons that were providing peace and stability, and they worked with the military to chase away Boko Haram from Damaturu, which was the state capital. And up to today, the state capital and other local governments became safe. This is another model. In Adamawa state, the state government worked with the hunters, and then they were able to free Jimeta and neighbors up to Ong and other places. They liberated them from Boko Haram. This is another model. Now, what the Adamawa state governor did under Bindau, there was a law that was passed. As a traditional ruler, I think it was even under Inyako, when they were having communal and religious crisis in Adamawa. There was a law that was passed by Inyako administration. If you're a traditional ruler and there is religious or community conflict, that you're going to lose your title, you're going to lose all the privileges, and you'll be sacked. And that was the end of religious conflict in Adamawa up to this moment. So if we're looking for solutions, now there is a community known as Duhu community. In Adamawa state, I think under Boko Haram insurgency, there were a lot of killings. And what did they do? There was what was known as Kabara. This Kabara was more or less like a dialogue, forgiveness, reconciliation, and so on and so forth. And then the people were reconciled and they forgave one another. There was no reprisal. So if we're looking for solutions, it's not about funds. It's not about funds. It's about what solution has worked where, how, so that we can tap those solutions. And there are a lot of them that I can mention on this program. So for you to say we should set up funds, is it funds that is the problem? No, it's not funds. What is lacking is not even the will. Because when you tell me there is no political will, I don't buy it. The same will we used to steal is the same will we need to work. So what the hell are you telling me that there is no will?
Good day to our viewers all over the world, and welcome back to Local Journal. We've heard everything they said in the video, and of course we know that the northern governors, they came together recently to ensure that they find a way and a lasting solution to the problem that is bedeviling the north and by extension affecting the whole country, which we all know it's about the insecurity going on in the country. Of course, one thing that surprises me there is the fact that they are trying to they are proposing the same thing they've always stood against. Well, it's a nice thing that they are coming to the realization that all those things they've stood against is the proper thing they should have done to stop insecurity from the north. However, because of their own interest and because of what they stand to gain, and because they know something about this whole insecurity thing, and some are weaponizing it, they've always stood against it. But thank God we have somebody who is bigger than the Nigerian president from America, who is pressuring and putting pressure on the Nigerian government, and by extension putting pressure on these people to do the right thing. Well, thank God that it's happening in our eyes, and we just hope that it brings a lasting solution to this whole insecurity problem that is happening in the country. This is my humble opinion on this. Can you drop what you think about this in the comment section? And if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel.